For the next 30 days, we are eating no carbs.
I'm going to eat a carton of eggs every single day for 30 days.
I just made a chocolate waffle out of cheese.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to our channel. My name is Ashton.
And I'm Jen, and we are the DeLauers.
And today we're talking about keto. I know it sounds like a fad diet. What is it? Do you just eat bacon and cheese and stuff it inside a pork's butt? I know it sounds crazy, but we're going to explain it, why we're doing it, but also kind of give you just a little breakdown of what keto is, and maybe you should try it yourself. So let's start with what keto is. Keto is a state called ketosis, which happens in our body. This is where our body uses fat as a source of energy. It uses the ketones in our body.
So instead of using carbs, like in a standard American diet, your body is going to burn carbs for fuel. It's going to burn carbs to give you energy. When you're in ketosis, you're depriving your body of all those carbs, so your body is kind of forced to use fat as fuel. It's forced to break down all the fat that you're eating and use it as your energy, which also kind of breaks down the stored fat that you already have in your body, thus producing ketones.
This is not a new diet or a fad diet, and now the reason why I'm saying that is because keto's been around since humans been around. Our body is able to use different sources of energy to make sure that we can do our daily tasks. For example, 2,000 years ago, you might not have had a bowl of rice or your Lucky Charms cereal to be able to eat as a quick source of carbs. You were just going to kill the quickest thing. You killed the squirrel that was on the side of the
There was even road.
Yeah. you killed
on the side of the
you
trail.
killed a squirrel in the woods. You ate that and you ate like 4 berries.
Yeah.
And you had any carbs. So our body has to be able to use fat as a source of energy. So keto has been around as long as humans been around.
Yeah, so if you kind of think about it, people argue like the keto diet being like, oh, you don't eat like fruits and vegetables. You definitely do. But if you think about it, like kind of what you hinted at, like let's think about like Alaska, for instance. Like it is cold all the time there. They weren't growing fruits and vegetables and eating fruits and vegetables. They were killing animals, high fat animals,
right,
and they were eating them, and their bodies survived off of that.
So why are we doing keto? Are you doing this again? Why are we not eating carbs?
Honestly, we are doing keto. I think the main idea came about because we just wanted to experiment with it. Like we've heard tons of people doing it. A couple of my family members have done it. And we kind of just wanted to try it. I started listening to a bunch of podcasts that I really love, and I was super skeptical. Honestly, super skeptical. Like
the biggest thing is that before you judge something, you have to actually experience it yourself. Yeah. So I think it's like us growing as humans of not being judgmental and like trying something out, especially because we looked at the benefits of it, and there's a lot of great benefits, you know? And
I won't lie, like even a month ago, Ashton came to me and was like, oh, like so-and-so is doing keto, and I was like, that's stupid. Like, I was super judgmental about it. I thought it was just the dumbest diet ever. I was like, not eating carbs, that's so stupid. And I kind of got curious about it, and he definitely challenged me on that way of thinking. He's like, well, why do you think it's stupid? And I really didn't know why. I just thought it was because it was a diet. So I started listening to some podcasts and like actually educating myself, and truly like there's some unbiased science that really leans in the favor of keto and how carbs just cause inflammation and all these different things. So that's kind of what we're here to talk about, and that's kind of why we're trying it, because you can't judge how you're going to react to something on all these other studies with people who don't live anywhere near you live or do the things that you do. The best way to find out if something's going to work for you is not reading a study on if it worked for other people. It's going to be trying it out yourself. So that's what we're doing. We are going to try it out ourselves and see how we feel for 30 days or longer. Who knows?
Now, the biggest thing that I wanted to try keto for wasn't because I'm looking to get shredded or I'm looking to lose fat. I'm not looking for it. Whenever I look at a diet, I look at the health benefits of it. You know, if I wanted to lose fat, I'd probably do the celery diet, which is not a diet. That's all right. I'm going to say it right here. You can judge some certain things. That's one thing you can judge. That's just dumb. Now, when you're doing a keto diet, the biggest thing that I wanted to see was if carbs actually give me inflammation. So whenever I used to wake up and have like a big bowl of oatmeal or some toast or anything like that, I just kind of felt bloated all day, and I kind of felt a little lethargic. And that's the one thing that I heard about keto, it was in reading about it and studying it, was that it gives you great mental clarity and amazing energy levels as well. So I was like, okay, that sounds like 2 things that I want to, have in my life. So why not try it out? And maybe I can go back to carbs and it will be even better once I do that.
Another reason why we wanted to try keto, especially me, is I have always had a bunch of digestion issues. I've always been pretty sensitive to gluten, and I actually got tested at my doctor, and she told me I was sensitive to gluten and I should cut out gluten, and I was like, I don't know about that. So yeah, keto is really good just for helping your digestive tract. Carbs and sugars obviously are what runs inflammation in our body. So when you're taking out those carbs and those sugars, it's definitely going to help with the inflammation. Also, you're eating a ton, and I mean a ton, of healthy fats during keto, so that definitely helps.
So actually in the medical community, keto diets were used as a diagnosis for...
Diagnosis, no.
Diagnosis is the opposite way.
As
a treatment. Yeah. And they found that when people were doing this diet, that they were seeing less common, what's the word I'm looking for?
Let me do the medical. All right, so keto has been used in the medical field as kind of a treatment for a lot of illnesses, diseases, especially autoimmune things. So for instance, like Alzheimer's, and this is actually like new emerging science, but Alzheimer's, people who have seizures, cancer, all those types of things, especially like autoimmune, like Hashimoto's and things like that. The keto diet has shown to really improve those symptoms. So there's a ton of people who have these autoimmune diseases, and they say that they switch to a keto diet and their symptoms really quickly cleared up. Cancer is obviously fueled, and the growth is fueled by carbohydrates. So there's a lot of studies, and there's even a couple of documentaries on Netflix, but about how once you remove those carbs out of your diet, you kind of can starve off your cancer. Like I said, these are all like very emerging things. There's science showing that it's kind of helping Alzheimer's. Like as Alzheimer's starts to develop, switching to a keto diet is really slowing the progression of that disease, just because they think that a lot of these diseases are fueled by inflammation, carbohydrates, and sugar, which are really eliminated in the keto diet. How we're doing keto. There's kind of different ways that you can do keto. There's the clean keto, the dirty keto. Some people do like a carb cycling keto. There's so many different ways to do it. But we're just kind of doing like a basic clean keto. We didn't want to do keto and be eating like bacon and cheese sandwiches, and people use just a ton of dairy, which dairy can be inflammatory for a lot of people. So just doing keto doesn't mean you deleted all of the inflammation in your body. You really need to make sure that you're still eating things that don't inflame you. But we're going to do clean keto, so... Don't
get me wrong, I'm still eating a lot of bacon,
yeah,
a lot of cheese.
But we're
buying
way
more cheese.
Higher quality.
But it's about buying higher quality. Yeah. It's not about eating, like taking a bunch of cheese and just melting it into a big pot, and if you are doing that, get the organic, grass-fed, and we have a later video of us actually grocery shopping, so make sure that you check out that video of us grocery shopping, and we're going to pick out some things. And don't get me wrong, we don't have all the money in the world, so there's some things that we're like, hey, we're not going to buy organic on this just because it's expensive as heck. So we totally get it, and we're there with you. We're millennials as well, so like we need to save money and make sure that we're not spending a fortune.
But we're not out here eating those American cheese slices.
Yeah, we're not those little yellow. Yes,
I don't even know what they're called.
Chemical like strips. That's what they are.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, we're trying to do keto as clean as possible. We're not trying to eat just a bunch of junk. So we're eating lots of seeds and nuts and olive oil, spinach. We're eating this is the most veggies I've like eaten in a long time. So because a lot of people think that you have to cut out all veggies and fruits and stuff like that, and I don't eat a ton of fruits just because they are a little bit higher carb, but I'm eating a lot of veggies. So I'm eating spinach or asparagus or something like that on like the daily basis, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, all that different kind of stuff. And then I'm coating it in olive oil, which is great. And then you have avocados, like we're eating avocado like a day. Like she can't because she's allergic, but I'm eating a lot of avocado, which I would never touch an avocado before if I was eating carbs, right? So I do like that I'm switching up things, and our body needs a host of nutrients. So this is like a huge thing for me as well, is that we are switching from going to carbs, and I was eating the same thing every single day. Now I'm eating completely different foods, and my body is feeling completely different because I was starving myself with those nutrients. So that's why like trying something new can really be beneficial for your body.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to film a video telling you guys like what you can eat, what you can't eat, because I feel like that is like a whole thing of itself. You can still eat vegetables. There are definitely some vegetables that you can't eat, and you can still eat like berries, but you definitely can't eat bananas, So we'll definitely film a video for you guys going really deep into that, just because that's a whole thing.
And it shows portion sizes, because I know a lot of people that eat nuts on a regular basis, and then they're like, when you're doing
keto, there are carbs in nuts, like they're not just fats.
Not only that, but like you're looking, like you'll say like you were eating carbs, right? And you're like, I don't know why I'm not losing weight. But now you're doing keto where you're supposed to eat a lot of fats, and you can see that 2 handfuls of walnuts has almost 40 grams of fat. and you're like, wow, I had like 10 walnuts in my hand and I'm going to eat 40 grams of fat. So it really helps when, if you go back to eating carbs and you start to drop those fats, like, wow, I have a little bit more consciousness about how calorically dense some foods can be.
Yeah, definitely.
So for keto, when you look at your macros, you want to eat about 70 to 80% of your calories from fat. And then you want anywhere from 5 to 10, but you want to keep it on more on the low end, 5% of your calories coming from carbs. And then you want anywhere from 15 to 25% of your calories coming from protein.
We are tracking macros while we do this, at least in the beginning. And what you want to do, so how he said, about 5% carbs, that's what we're doing. So that ends up being like 20 to 25 grams. What's yours?
Mine's about 35 to 40.
Okay. So, and that's not like total carbs, that's minusing your dietary fiber. So that's going to be your net carbs. So basically, let's say I eat 30 grams of carbs, but if I've had 10 grams of fiber, that's really only 20 grams of net carbs. We started keto. How long have you been in keto?
So I did a 24-hour fast the Saturday to Sunday before.
Yeah, so it's been 4 days.
And then, yeah, I started it, so today's Thursday, so it's been about 4 days for me.
I'm probably on like day 6-ish, I would say.
Yeah, you're a few days.
So how long does it take to get into ketosis? That really depends on every single person, and that's kind of the answer for a lot of keto questions, is like it just depends on your body. It truly does. So I would say on average it can be anywhere as quick as like 3 days to 10 days. I think for me it probably took me like almost a whole week. And for you, you're probably there.
I think I'm almost in
Yeah.
ketosis, and that's almost going into what we're going to talk about next, how do you test? And so they have a few different testing modalities, and one is a blood test. That's going to be the most accurate.
That's just like a little finger prick, like you take your blood sugar. You can order the meter on Amazon.
And then you have little strips that you pee on, which is weird because I've never peed on anything in my life. So pee on this little stick, and then you see like where you're at. But this is the problem with those, is that those are the excess ketones that you're peeing out. So like if your body's using the ketones and you're using that for energy, you might not have any excess ketones.
Yeah, so your urine might show up negative.
But if you do have excess, that means that you probably are in ketosis,
Right.
So that's how we're kind of using it to measure.
Yeah, the urine strips can be very inaccurate. Like you can show up negative for a long time and still be in ketosis. So if you're super like strict on wanting to know if you're in ketosis, definitely test your blood. You can kind of just tell by how you feel, though, truly, if you're in ketosis or not.
So for any experiment, you want to make sure that you're tracking variables. We don't want to just say, oh, keto is the best, but we don't actually know that. We could be biased about how we feel just in the moment. We could be like, I look way better, but we need actual proof. So there's a few things that we're tracking. We're tracking our weight, and we're also tracking our, I don't know what's going on. I need a carb or something. The big thing with that is that people lose like 10 pounds in 30 days and they're like, holy crap, keto is the best. Listen, you're going to pee a lot in keto, and that's because carbohydrates hold on to water in your body. So you're going to pee out about, anywhere from 4 to 8 pounds of water weight. Just because you lost 10 pounds in 30 days on keto does not mean that you lost 10 pounds of fat.
And that does not mean it's a good diet.
Yeah, by any means. You don't want to track a diet just off of weight loss.
So we're going to be watching things like mental clarity, which is a huge thing. And I've heard that it kind of peaks like at 2 weeks. You really start to like get really high mental clarity, really stable energy levels. So we're going to be paying attention to that. We're going to be paying attention to our gut health, of course, like how we feel as far as like our stomachs and digestion. What else?
We're also gonna like do a before like picture / video,
like
just to see if anything happens to our body. But this is the thing, we're also like working out. I'm not changing my workouts.
Yeah, we're not really changing.
I'm honestly probably eating more calories than what I was eating before. So it'll be interesting to see like if there is any changes in the physique. But that is definitely not the one thing that we're going for.
This is why we are doing keto. It is a strict diet, definitely, but we're still going to try to go out and have fun with our friends. You can still go out to eat, and you can still even drink alcohol. You just kind of have to be more conscious and aware, which we don't mind doing just because that's kind of the lifestyle we live. So yeah, we're going to keep you guys updated and let you follow along on our keto journey. And comment below any videos that you want to see us film or things that you want to know, questions about the keto diet. Also, guys, you can head over to my personal training and nutrition business page and see, we had actually our nutritionist go through keto for 30 days. I'm going through keto for 30 days. And we actually know like the science behind it. So if you're ever interested in any of that kind of stuff,
we did a podcast, filmed a podcast. We recorded a podcast about keto and everything you need to know about keto. But I know you have some other podcasts that you want to recommend as well.
Yeah, so like I said, when I was like getting skeptical about keto, I started listening to podcasts, and there's some really, really good. If you guys just type in keto on Spotify under podcasts, there's tons that come up. But a couple that are really good. One is called the Keto Diet Podcast. Just type that in on Spotify. The Keto for Women show. That one's really good if you're like a female thinking about keto. She goes into like hormones on keto, your menstrual cycle on keto, a lot of things like that. The Keto Answers podcast. It's really good. And then Fast Keto with the Ketogenic Girl is a really good podcast also. So definitely check those ones out. And Mind Muscle Hustle. Search that one on Spotify. Good podcasts.
So there is 2 YouTube channels that we do recommend checking out that we found super beneficial, and that's Thomas DeLauer, yeah, and then FlavCity. So we'll make sure that we put their YouTube channels down in the description along with any of the podcasts or any kind of resources that we have. Make sure that you check out our video the following week, and we're going to talk about our keto grocery haul. And then we'll post recipes and stuff like that just for you to follow along. Now listen, we're just a lifestyle couple. This has nothing to do about, like, we're not trying to sell you keto or anything like that. We're just trying to experiment something so that way we can give you the information. That's what we want our channel to be about, real truth in a world that tells you a lot of lies and sells off of insecurity. So we just want to be a real couple for you.
We might hate this and come back in 2 weeks and be like, don't do keto, it sucked.
Yep.
Like, this is just our experiment.
And we'll be super honest and we'll be super open, but we're going to try it and we're going to do it right. So thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate you. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel so that way you can catch all of our videos. We post at least once a week, every Friday. We're trying to get to twice a week. Touch that little bell icon. I don't know where it's at on the screen.
Are we down there?
No, it's up, I think.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Touch that little bell icon and you'll be notified when we post. What?
Nothing. Keep going. I'm just
Notified?
laughing.
Not the right way.
You know it's notified.
Oh.
Notified. That's why I was laughing. You'll touch that little bell button and you will be notified when we post a video. We're trying to do every Wednesday and Friday most weeks, but at least every single Friday. We post them at 3 p.m. So
yeah, we appreciate you guys. Carry on with your days. Don't eat any carbs. I'm just joking. You can eat carbs. And we'll see you guys soon.
bye.